guys, it is Sophie, the Diabetic Vlogger, and today I'm going to review another one of my favorite Rush songs off their album Clockwork Angels, which was their final studio album. This song is one of the first songs that they actually released as a single before the album came out, because they were working on this album. They were doing their Time Machine tour, which was the steampunkish, and they did Clockwork Angels. So this song is called Headlong Flight, and I love this song. It's very beautiful, it's long. They put a nice lyric video out for that. You guys should check it out. This song is dedicated to Freddie Gruber, which was a drummer that taught Neil when he went back and relearned his drum skills, and also goes very well with the whole, with all of the stories and the Clockwork Angels story and what's going on. That Owen is on a long journey to find his quest for life, about what is he lacking, how is he going to get it, and and find out what's important to him and what matters most. So here's the lyrics. If you guys haven't listened to it, go check it out and come back and we can talk about this song. Alright. All the journeys of this great adventure, it didn't feel that way. I wouldn't trade them because I made them the best I could. That's enough to say. Some days were dark, I wish that I could live it all again. Some nights were bright, I wish that I could live it all again. All the headlights of the headlong flight, holding on with all my might to what I felt back then. I wish I could live it all again. I have stoked the fire on the big steel wheels, steered the airship right across the stars. I learned to fly, I learned to love, I learned to feel. Oh, I wish that I could live it all again. All the treasures, the golden glory, it didn't always feel that way. I don't regret it, I never forget it. I wouldn't trade tomorrow for today. Some days were dark, I wish that I could live it all again. Some nights were bright, I wish that I could live it all again. I have stoked the fires of the big steel wheels, steered the airship right across the stars. I learned to fight, I learned to love, I learned to feel. Oh, I wish that I could live it all again. The days were dark and the nights were bright, and I would never trade tomorrow for today. All the highlights of that headlong flight, holding on with all my might. Some days were dark, I wish that I could live it all again. Some nights were bright, I wish that I could live it all again. I have stoked the fire on the big steel wheels, steer this airship right across the stars. I learned to fight, I learned to love, I learned to feel. Oh, I wish I could live it all again. There's the chorus. I have stoked the fire on the big steel wheels, steer the airship right across the stars. I learned to fight, I learned to love, I learned to steal. Oh, I wish that I could live it all again. And of course, written by Alex Lifeson, Gayle Reiner, and Neil Peart. So this song, I think, is also it just brings me back to, I used to read all of Neil's newsletter and sports when he did that. If you guys read them, please let me know what you thought about them. I loved them. It really got me into Neil Peart's writing, and then after that, I guess is when I got into reading his books. He talks about all his different, he would ride his motorcycles on the back roads in between tours with his riding partner, Michael, who's a security guard. And they would get stuck, their GPSs would take them wrong places, and he would just be, in complete agony. But then he lived to tell about it, and he would have, regret it. Obviously, this song is talking about someone who lived a long life. He did a lot of things to help people, he learned a lot. And I think that Neil probably learned a lot from them, and so he wrote the song for him. So let's go over the lyrics now. All the journeys of this great adventure didn't always feel that way. So that's what I was saying. We're going through a trial, or even a journey, or maybe even a road trip, or even just life in general, school, marriage, friendships. We're going through something, and we only care about getting out of it because we're in so much pain. We just want it to end. And it doesn't always feel that way till after the fact when you live to tell about it. I wouldn't trade them because I made them. So even though this person has gone through pain and suffering to get where they are to have this great adventure, they would not, they wouldn't trade them because they were their decisions and he made them. The best that I could, and that's enough to say. So he made these decisions the best he could, and that's enough to say. Some days were dark, I wish that I could live it all again. So it's saying even though these days were dark, he learned so much of it, and he lived to tell about that he would do it all over again. Some nights were bright, I wish that I could live it all again. All the headlights of that headlong flight, holding on with all my might. So it's saying that he has all these highlights of his great headlong flight, holding on with all his might. to what I felt back then. I wish that I could live it all again. So he has all these highlights of how he felt, and he holds on to them with all his mind. He doesn't want to forget them. He wishes that he could live it all again. I have stoked the fire on the big steel wheels. That's one of my favorite lines, talking about the airships that they drove in the Huckle Angel story. Steer the airship right across the stars. I learned to fight, I learned to love, I learned to feel. I wish I could live it all again. So he wants to learn those things that he learned again, so he can relearn them, because he loved how it made him feel, or the story about going through it and having the triumph of getting through it. All the treasures, the gold and glory, it didn't always feel that way. So in the story, Owen was trying to, get gold and glory and fame and fortune. It doesn't always feel that way. But he says, I don't regret it, I'll never forget it. I wish that I wouldn't trade tomorrow for today. So he wouldn't trade yesterday for today or tomorrow for today, because he's learned so much. Some days were dark, I wish that I could live it all again. Some nights were bright, I wish that I could live it all again. I have stoked the fire on the big steel wheels, steer the airship right across the stars. I learned to fight, I learned to love, I learned to feel. Oh, I wish I could live it all again. The days were dark, the nights were bright. I would never trade tomorrow for today. All the highlights of the headlong flight, holding on with all my might. Some days were dark, I wish that I could live it all again. Some nights were bright, I wish that I could live it all again. I have stoked the fire on the big steel wheels, to the airship right across the stars. I learned to fight, I learned to love, I learned to feel. Oh, I wish I could live it all again. I have stoked the fire on the big steel wheels, steer the airship right across the stars. I learned to fight, I learned to love, I learned to steal. Oh, I wish that I could. Oh, I wish that I could live it all again. So that's really true. For instance, I always tell some people when I meet them, or like friends, when I was in Civil Air Patrol, I went to a summer encampment, which was a boot camp, and I went and I got sick as a dog the morning I went. And I was gone for about 5 to 6 days. I would say the camp was 5 or 6 days, and it was I learned so much about myself. I met a lot of cool people. I did lots of cool things. But I was sick as a dog and I felt terrible. But I would love to tell about it, and that's one of the most highlights of my life, of things that I've done in midst of circumstances and problems and being sick. But I got through with it, and I wouldn't change doing it. I wouldn't say if I went back in time, no, I wouldn't do that again. I would have loved to go back and do it again, but I didn't get the chance. So I hope you guys like this video. If you haven't heard a song, I encourage you guys to go check it out. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys next time in another video. Goodbye.